Hello, this is channel Layer Ace and my name is Robert, and today I will show you how to make this abstract particle trails effect using After Effects and no plugins, only built-in tools. So this is example number 1, this is example number 2. This is something you would create using trapcode particular and aux system, but in this one we're not going to be using that plugin, only built-in After Effects tools. So we will make our particles follow a path, and let's begin. New project. Let's make this 1080p, and I always make mine 60 frames per second. You can make 30, and duration for this one will be 6 seconds. So create new solid. Its name is particles. Search for CC particle world and drop it on your layer. Now let's make a null object and rename this to position, and switch modes and enable 3D. So this will be 3D layer, and we want to make our particle emitter follow a path. So select position and hit P and go to particles, go to effects, it's the particle world producer, and now we need to make the particles that would be in 3D space, so it has to follow the position null object. And as you can see, for example, if you enter 0.5 in the position X, it is on the edge of the screen. So we will need to write some symbol expressions. So while holding Alt key, click position X, and let's write some expression. So define a variable, and this Comp.layer, and we will target our position null object. Transform position and enter 0 for position X. And now we have to put minus thisComp.width divided by 2. Oh, sorry. So this will divide position position minus 9020 divided by 2 means position minus 960 And now let's write p divided by this comp width. Okay. And you can see a position already working correctly. Now select this, copy, and select position Y. Click by holding Alt key and enter, and change the position of our null object to 1, and instead of width we will change to height, and we will leave thisComp p divided by thisComp width, because our particles will follow. This will be like a square composition, so we need to have a square composition for this to work. So we will imagine that our composition is square by putting here width again. So it's again 19 and 20. I hope that makes sense. Okay. And now let's check if this works. Okay. Now again copy and Alt click and enter, and here we enter 2, and we'll change. Actually we will just remove this and leave it like this, and that's it. Okay, let's check it. Now if we will move our null object to a side like this, we will get a position actually is 0.5, and if we again go down like this, so we will imagine this is a square composition. So something around here we will have 0.5. Okay, you can just copy this. I will leave these expressions down in the description. And okay, let's get back to the center. Now go to particles and change our particle to faded sphere. Let's change longevity to 3. Let's change birth size 0.02 and depth size 0.02 also. Let's change our physics to fire, gravity to 0. Okay, now we can animate our position layer. Just simply animate by going from left to right. Okay, let's go back and let's change this to 0. Also, let's change color. Let's try from blue to red. Okay. Now let's actually make the particle trails or wax particles. Search for echo in particles in the effects and presets, and drop it on our particles solid. Okay, echo time. Let's adjust some settings. Maybe try 100 of echo copies. Let's try 0.002 starting intensity, 0.7, and decay. Let's try 0.97 or 98. Maybe increase number of particles, number of echoes, I mean, to 150. This already looks like something like Christmas sparkles. Okay, what else can we do here? Let's go to physics and change inherit velocity to maybe 20. Now it's shooting forward. Okay. Now we will have to duplicate our particle world effect again, but before that let's do some expressions. So create new null object and rename this to control, and go into effects and presets, select expression controls and select slider control and drag it in our control layer, and rename this to stop emitting at S. So we will write a simple expression to control our particle emitter by this number. So if we enter 1, it will stop emitting at second number 1. If we enter 2, it will stop emitting at second number 2. So we don't have to change the birth rate and make keyframes. We only adjust these settings, and also we will duplicate the slider control again, and let's rename this to amount of particles. And let's make maybe 3. Okay. Now locus layer, go to particles, producer, no, not producer, birth rate, alt click on birth rate and write linear time. So this right now we will define our start time, our first keyframe, our second keyframe, and while we're for first keyframe and while we're for second keyframe. So our first keyframe will be at seconds 1 minus 0.1. Second keyframe will be at, second keyframe will be at exactly 1. Now while we're for first keyframe will be amount of particles, 3, and next, while for next keyframe will be 0. So it's now we can control our particles with these two settings. So it will stop emitting at, as you can see right here, birth rate is 0, and before it's 0.5. And if we enter 2, now we'll have stop emitting our particles at 2 seconds. Okay, and just like that, let's enter 1, and very easy to change amount of particles. Let's try 4, let's try 5, okay. Now also drag slider control into effects for control layer and changes to velocity, and also duplicate our velocity and rename this to velocity random. So now go into our physics. As you can see, we can't change, we can't make our velocity random inside physics, but we can use expressions to change setting for velocity random. So first of all, make velocity 0 and enter 1 here, and click on pick whip and drag it to velocity. Okay. Now go to this velocity expression and okay, how will we make this random? Maybe we can multiply this by random. No, let's try wiggle. Wiggle frequency will be 0.1, and now second setting will be velocity random. So select your pick whip and connect it here. Let's try 1, 2, 0. Okay, let's try maybe plus. So instead multiplying, we change to plus sign, and it works. If we enter 0 here and 2 here, we will get random velocity. Okay, this is good. Now also duplicate velocity random by clicking Ctrl D and rename this to gravity. Go to physics and drag our gravity right here. And let's make our gravity 0.2 maybe. Maybe 0.2. And because we have fire in our physics, the fire particles goes up, so we can change that by, okay, select particles, hit U twice to reveal all the expressions and change. Let's just enter minus at before this expression, before this setting. And now we will get minus 0.1. Okay, now let's go to our particles, unlock this layer and select CC particle world and Ctrl D to duplicate. Also, before that, let's delete it. Go to physics, floor. Let's add our floor action. Glue not working, so let's try ice. Just for preview, I am enabling the floor. So again, go to particle world and Ctrl D to duplicate, change particle, change our particle color. Let's just reverse the colors like this. Now go to extras. On the second layer of particles, select composite with original and let's enter random seed 1 to make this a little bit different from the first layer of particles. Now go to particle and let's increase size to maybe 0.07, I mean. Let's change opacity map. Opacity map is okay. Let's change max opacity to 20 maybe. Size variation to 100. Okay, let's make this smaller maybe. And 15 opacity. And we can go to the first effect and change to size variation also to 100. And this is already looks like something you would create in Trapcode particular. Okay, let's do one more thing. Let's duplicate both of these, select both and Ctrl D and drag this also below. So this is copy of our first layer, so we need to go to extras and composite with original. And also random seed, let's make 2, and for the last one let's make random C4 random seed. Now if you have quite some amount of particles now, so let's go to particle solid and hit U twice, and let's close the first one and the second one, and on the third one let's go to gravity and remove the minus sign, close it down, and on the last one also remove the minus sign. Okay, this looks interesting. Also, I forgot one thing. We need to go to producer and decrease our radius as much as possible. So copy 0.001 and paste on all the other particle layers. So here we go, we created some advanced particle effects using only CC particle world, and we can change our settings. We can change amount of particles easy. So if you want to, for example, change your animation, so you will control it by position null object. So if you want to make your animation 2 seconds long, your last keyframe for position will be at 2 seconds, and you'll go to control layer and enter stop emitting at seconds 2. So your particles stops emitting at second number 2. This is slowing down a bit because I'm using 4 layers of particles. The more layers, the more it slows down inside After Effects. And you can make a lot more settings using control layer. You can change particle size very easily. You can do many things using the expressions. Okay, let's try 2. As you can see, it is quite slow now, but okay, you get the idea, and this is looking quite alright for built-in particle systems plugin. And okay, I will leave a link to project file in the description down below, and thanks for watching, and goodbye.